This is Emily Pankhurst, and we used to have this up in our SWAC's office where we did all the stuffing and the concoction of a lot of the demos we decided to do. But she was a very inspiring woman. I bought this at a conference I went to, an annual general conference, and it's a sort of thing I think a lot of people will be interested in seeing, and she's very much the symbol of emancipation for women, and we have a lot of respect for her. Clint, isn't it? Clint, yes. And it's a mother and child. I think it's very wonderful, and I wondered if we could incorporate that in somehow. It's with the baby. It does tell you here. Here we have. This is one of the calendars, the second calendar we did. We decided to do these in order to raise some funds, and the calendars have got... the first calendar is a much smaller one, about half that size, and I'll look it out and we can use that as well. And we were helped by someone called Jayanti Shah, who was in charge of Black History, or was one of the main movers in Black History in Southampton. And he helped us with compose our first calendar. But that's the when we really worked very hard to get as many women into local government as we could. And here we have a former mayor. This lady's a former Sue Blatchford, Carol Cuneo. It was a demo for the bedroom tax, and actually Bar, who you've just met, was dressed up as a policewoman for that, and I was a banker. And this is the Robin Hood tax. Sheena sadly has departed. She's a dear friend of the Labour Party and a great friend of... She did a lot for SWACs. This was a gardening do. And these are just meetings in people's houses. That was at a conference we were at, where we as women have got together to try to support each other and do as many things that we feel will involve the whole community, really. We did a lot of demos. This was outside our offices, and a woman called Valerie Oswald and Bar Lupton and I went and bought the materials to make a banner, and everybody decided the sort of design we would like. So we put SWAC, Southampton Women Against Cuts, and we wanted the rose. Now this banner was made of an old an old eiderdown that one of my daughters gave me from her son's bedroom, and we chopped it in half, and Valerie, who isn't in the... Oh yes, that's Valerie Oswald. She actually... I got it together and designed it, but it was a little bit temporary, and Valerie took it home and made it very much more detailed. We've done so many different demos, it's almost impossible to tell you about them all. We did a vigil in the Guildhall Square supporting the NHS one night with our banner, and a rather murky picture there. That's a group of mostly women. You see the women with the men here. I think there were about 18 women, as far as I can remember. But I know we increased the number of women in the group. This is Satvir Kaur, who's councillor for communities. Our aim was to get more 50-50. That's the... I mean, women... It is really difficult since, Emily Pankhurst Day, and when the vote did eventually come in at the end of after the First World War, but there wasn't proper suffrage until 1928, I believe. So, women have had a short shrift, really, of time in Parliament when you think of, the numbers of women who are still not represented. We also have fundraising times. This was one of our garden parties, or at least some of these pictures are from the garden parties. I believe that was from an Amnesty International occasion. That's Anne Wardle, who's used to be our secretary, who's an amazing person. This is outside my house. We had a a bring and buy store because we thought the students would come along and buy gear, but in fact we didn't raise very much because I think they'd gone on holiday the day before. But we had a good day. we have done some things that haven't been entirely totally successful, but it's all by way of experiment and that sort of stuff. This is at Tolpuddle. We went to the martyr's grave that's in the church there, and that's those are Jill Hiscock and Beryl and myself. And on one occasion we had a wonderful person called Del Singh, who sadly was killed in Kabul, who was very supportive of Palestine, and he was standing as MEP, European MP for the South East, and he came to Tolpuddle with us, and I believe we got pictures of him somewhere. The various things we've done here. This was Shark Stoppers in Shirley. A lot of people go to the credit houses and shops and pay extortionate sums of money for loans, and we were very against that. Oh, we do have token men in SWACs, although that's John Nooner, councillor, and this is Matt, who's another councillor. We've been at various groups, Fabian's, that's Bar. This was in London, I believe. We did quite a few demos in London. This is Renata, who dressed as a banker as well as myself. I think I probably took the picture. My friend Mary she lives in Manchester now, but she lived on the Isle of Wight, and she used to come and support us. And this is Viv, who's a wonderful member of SWAC. She doesn't dress up, although she's got a funny hat on there. I think that was in the office. And Veronica, who's a great distributor of information to everybody. Some of us dressed up in our 90s. We thought we were going back to Victorian values. So we had a chamber pot. I think I had a candle in it like that. And this is a nightie, a Victorian nightie for the notorious bedroom tax. Have you heard of that? Where people are being taxed if they have an extra bedroom in a council house, and it's making life very difficult for a lot of households, including women on their own often. This is a fat cat banker's tail. It does look rather odd, but Bar Lupton knitted it because we were feeling very angry with the fat cat bankers for all the trouble they'd caused with the recession and all the things that were going on. So what we decided to do was dress up as as bankers. So I asked my son-in-law if he had any. Oh, I found this shirt in the park on the common one day, and I thought, I'll have that for my banker's outfit. And I washed it, of course. And then Roger, very kindly, he had a few old suits, but so I took his jackets. The trousers, unfortunately, he had weren't so wonderful. And somebody very kindly, I know this sounds illegal, but I think it's because it's paper. It's not printed. It's on two sides. We made a lot of money. Roger also gave me a wonderful briefcase. It was owned by a very special lady civil servant, and she retired. She was about 100, I think, by the time I got it in my hands. And I used to give this paper money away as I travelled. Being a rich banker, I could afford to give money to everyone. And it was just, we were in a lot of the demos where there were people protesting against the recession and against the cuts. And this was when we did, we had this wonderful young man called Fraser Walsh, who was in the office. And Fraser went out and bought these toy hats for us, women's, and it was just at the time when they were cutting back the police. And so we spoke to our local police and we said, do you mind if we just dress up as police women? And they didn't seem to object, as we were so obviously not really police people. This is just a few samples. It's not really, we had loads of these, and we had about 10 women, I think, dressing as in nurses' uniforms. When the nurses were being hit hard by lots of cuts. So I had a few sheets at home.